A doorbell rings at a quiet Arizona house. No one answers. Police step inside for a welfare check and find a man wrapped in plastic under a bed. This is the story of what happened before that doorbell and what happened after. You're watching Twisted Case. Fact First, true crime built for empathy and clarity. If you value careful storytelling, subscribe now so you don't miss the next case. In the days leading up to Thanksgiving, messages to Stefan go unanswered. That's unusual. He is predictable, especially during holiday plans. An adult child arrives to visit and feels immediate concern. The porch light is on at odd times. Texts sit on delivered, not read. When they reach the house, Ivanka tells them not to go inside. A strange instruction during a family holiday. Concern grows. The family requests a welfare check. Police come to the house. They enter. The interior looks neat, almost too neat, like a room reset for guests. Vacuum lines visible, surfaces wiped. Officers search room by room. In the main bedroom, they lift the bed. They find Stefan's body wrapped in plastic. In a documentary, this is usually where viewers want the how and why. We'll get there. But first, we'll explain exactly what investigators saw and how the story is built, piece by careful piece. Cause of death: multiple gunshot wounds and a stab wound. Immediate conclusion: evidence of violence, followed by concealment. From the outside, this sounds simple. Domestic homicide, body hidden, spouse arrested. But clear storytelling means showing how investigators reached each conclusion, what they didn't know at first, and why certain details matter later. To do that, we'll walk through 5 pillars. 1. Timeline: when was Stefan last seen alive? 2. Physical evidence: what did the house reveal? 3. Video records: what did neighboring cameras capture? 4. Post-incident behavior: what did the spouse do afterwards? 5. Legal path: what did the plea and sentence say about intent? Days before Thanksgiving 2023, a neighbor's security camera shows both Stefan and Ivanka entering the home. After that point, the footage shows only Ivanka leaving and returning. What the timeline suggests: Stefan is not observed leaving the house alive. Someone is maintaining the home's routine from the outside, coming and going, but that someone appears to be Ivanka only. Why this matters: prosecutors use timelines to anchor the likely time of death. If cameras see 2 people enter, but only one person move in and out afterward, it sharpens the window for when violence likely occurred. Plain English takeaway: the camera doesn't prove what happened inside. It does prove absence outside. Investigators document the scene. The bed, the plastic wrap, and the room's condition are photographed and logged. They also note a repaired section of a bedroom door, patched and painted quickly. That repair is important because a bullet hole can be patched, but the original damage usually leaves detectable clues: uneven texture, filler material, and edges that don't match the door's factory finish. If a bullet hole existed and was repaired after the fact, that suggests post-incident cleanup and consciousness of guilt. Legal phrases that influence charging and sentencing. Other signs: areas that look recently cleaned more intensely than the rest of the home. Personal items moved around as if to reset the scene. Plain English takeaway: the room reads like someone tried to undo or hide what happened. Investigators read rooms the way accountants read ledgers. Sensory anchor: even with good cleaner, a room has a sterile smell when it's been scrubbed hard. It's not a forensic point, just a recognizable human detail that frames the scene. The camera captures comings and goings, but not conversations, not fine detail, not what happens in rooms. It does show this. Both husband and wife go in. In the following days, only the wife appears on camera. What video can't tell us? Motive: words said in the house. Exact time of death, unless other synchronized data is available. What video can do? Narrow the timeline. Undercut: claims that the victim left voluntarily. Support a theory of concealment. If he's not seen outside, how did he leave? Plain English takeaway: the camera doesn't solve the case by itself. It closes doors on alternative explanations. One of the strongest components in cases like this is what the suspect does afterward. Key examples here: "Don't go inside," said to adult children who arrived for Thanksgiving. That statement alone doesn't prove a crime, but it runs opposite to normal holiday behavior. A recent car crash involving Ivanka. When investigators later search associated property, they recover a firearm. The car crash by itself could be random. In the larger context, it becomes a link in a chain. This isn't character judgment. It's a sequence. Event behavior evidence. Prosecutors use sequences to argue intent and state of mind. Plain English takeaway. After a death, attempts to hide, repair, or redirect attention are treated as actions with meaning. Charge: second-degree murder. Plea: guilty, no jury trial. Sentence: 20 years in state prison. These 3 points tell us how the law resolved the facts. A guilty plea to second-degree murder generally indicates the state believed it could prove an intentional killing without premeditation proven to the first-degree standard, and the defense chose certainty, a known sentence, over the risk of trial. Plain English takeaway. The plea ends debate inside the courtroom. It does not erase public questions about motive or state of mind, but it fixes the legal outcome. Let's mark the irreversible steps in simple beats. The family can't reach Stefan. A child is told not to go inside. Police conduct a welfare check. Officers lift the bed. The body is found, wrapped in plastic. The investigation becomes a homicide case. From here, everything moves forward. Charges, plea, sentence. Short, clear, no way to rewind. We'll climb in 5 steps. Each step adds new information and ends with a small question that keeps you engaged. Step 1. The house tells a story. Detectives document the repaired door, the cleaning patterns, and the concealment. Question it raises: if this were panic only, why the structured attempts to hide evidence? Step 2. The camera narrows options. Both enter. Later, only one is seen. Question it raises: if Stefan left, where's any trace? Car movement, new footage, financial activity? Step 3. The car crash becomes relevant. A separate event, involving the same household, links to a recovered firearm. Question it raises: is the crash random misfortune or part of a spiral after the killing? Step 4. Family statements matter. Don't go inside. Changes in routine. Holidays disrupted. Question it raises: what was the purpose of keeping family out? Shock, fear, or concealment? Step 5. The plea compresses the story. By pleading guilty to second-degree murder, the defendant spares the family a trial. Question it raises: does the plea reflect acceptance of responsibility or a legal calculation to limit exposure? While investigators do their work, the neighborhood soundtrack keeps playing, sprinklers tick at dawn, delivery trucks rumble past, and porch cameras capture minor life. That contrast helps you feel why these cases unsettle whole streets. To keep the ethics clear, Stefan is the center. He lost his life. He did not choose any of this. We avoid turning him into a case detail by holding to a few simple commitments. Use his name with respect. Avoid graphic reenactments. Emphasize the normal life he should have continued to live. Holiday meals, everyday routines, quiet drives. Families in cases like this say the hardest part is how ordinary places turn into painful landmarks. The bedroom door, the hallway, the driveway. That's the real cost beyond headlines. Viewers often ask fair questions in the comments. Let's address the most common ones plainly, using general legal principles and the facts available. 1. Could this have been self-defense? Self-defense claims typically require immediate threat and proportional response. Even when self-defense is argued, post-incident concealment, plastic wrapping, repair, days of silence, seriously undermines that claim in the eyes of prosecutors and judges. In this case, the guilty plea to second-degree murder closed the door on a self-defense narrative in court. 2. What if it was an accident followed by panic? Panic is real. People do irrational things after sudden trauma. However, multiple acts of concealment, repairing a door, wrapping a body, controlling access to the house, remaining silent, are typically viewed as organized actions, not a single frantic mistake. Again, the plea indicates the defense accepted a murder conviction. 3. Could mental health have played a role? It could have, as it can in many crimes. A car crash and strange behavior might suggest a mental health crisis after the killing. Courts can consider such factors at sentencing. Here, the court imposed 20 years, which is a serious term, but not the maximum available for all homicide classes. Whether that reflected mitigation, we can't claim without sealed records, but the sentence itself is the final word. For why second degree and not first degree? First degree requires proof of premeditation. Second degree is typically an intentional killing without premeditation proven to that higher standard. Prosecutors charge what they believe they can prove. The plea suggests both sides agreed second degree fit the provable facts. Bottom line, these counter-theories matter for understanding. They don't change the confirmed outcome. Guilty to second-degree murder, 20-year sentence. Days before Thanksgiving 2023, both spouses seen entering the home. Following days, only Ivanka appears on camera leaving/returning. Thanksgiving week, adult child arrives, told not to enter. Police welfare check. Officers find Stefan's body under a bed, wrapped in plastic. Investigation. Evidence of post-incident repairs and cleanup. Firearm tied through subsequent search after a car crash. June 2025. Guilty plea to second-degree murder, 20-year sentence. Short, straight, and easy to follow. In court, the prosecutor summarizes the evidence. The body under the bed, the concealment, the video timeline, the door repair, and the recovered weapon. The defense confirms the plea. There is no jury to persuade. The judge is the audience. The family listens. The room is quiet except for papers moving and the low hum of the air system. Then the sentence, 20 years. That single number is the law's answer to 2 years of grief and investigation. It does not heal the family. It does not restore holidays. It marks accountability. Fluorescent lights. A judge's measured tone. A clerk's stamp. That's how finality sounds in government buildings. This case teaches us 5 things. 1. Ordinary houses can hide extraordinary harm. From the street, nothing looked wrong. Many violent crimes leave few public signs. Don't wait for shouting or broken glass. Pay attention to the quiet that doesn't fit. Lights at odd hours, routine dropped, don't come in during a family holiday. Timelines are powerful. The neighbor's camera didn't capture words, but it captured time. If you ever wonder why investigators canvass for video, this is why. Small windows close big arguments. 3. Post-incident choices matter. Repairing a door, wrapping a body, saying nothing. These actions become evidence of state of mind. Even if panic is real, organized concealment undercuts it. 4. Pleas are not shortcuts, they're decisions. Trials are public and slow. Pleas are controlled and faster. This plea ended uncertainty about a verdict and gave the family resolution on paper, if not in the heart. 5. Community responsibility is quiet. If you're a relative or neighbor, you won't always see an assault. You might see silence where noise should be. Call. Ask for help. A well-timed welfare check can stop a search from becoming a recovery. Some questions you may want to ask. Why do some cases move quickly once a body is found? When evidence aligns, timeline, concealment, physical findings, prosecutors and defense can sometimes reach a plea agreement faster than expected. Speed doesn't imply sloppiness. It can reflect strong evidence and strategic choices. Why emphasize the victim's routines? Because habits anchor the truth. When people vanish, deviations in routine are often the first sign. It also keeps the person human in our minds. Couldn't the camera be wrong? Or miss something? Cameras have blind spots, yes. That's why cases don't rest on one clip alone. Here, the camera supports other evidence. It doesn't stand alone. Why not speculate about motive more? Responsible storytelling resists guesswork. Motive matters emotionally, but in court, provable actions matter most. Without reliable, public evidence about motive, we won't invent one. Is 20 years enough? That's a values question. The judge applied the law to the plea. Many viewers will feel it's too little for a life taken. Others will point to the plea acceptance and possible mitigation. That debate belongs in the comments. respectfully. Lines we refuse to cross. No reenactments of the killing. No invented dialogue or text messages. No graphic descriptions. Names used with respect. Facts separated from interpretation. We protect the dignity of the victim and keep the focus on what can be verified and what helps the public learn. If this careful, plain English, documentary narrative helps you understand the case, tap subscribe and turn on notifications. We publish empathetic, evidence-led cases that respect victims and teach real lessons. If you want more, comment with the next case you'd like us to cover, especially if it has strong records we can verify and explain. Now we ask you, justice or mercy? How would you weigh them here and why? Justice side. Multiple gunshots, a stab wound, concealment under a bed, repaired door, days of silence. Actions that deepen harm and argue for the full weight of the law. Mercy side. A guilty plea that spared a trial, hints of a post-incident spiral, including a car crash, and the possibility of mental health strain. Factors that some believe should temper the sentence. Where do you land, and what evidence shaped your view? Keep it specific. Keep it respectful. Families read these comments.
Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. Subscribe for more gripping true crime breakdowns, mysteries, and criminal psychology stories, only on Twisted Case.